Want to know what the hardest thing to do now is for me, Dan? It is to try to become a little more self-absorbed as Dan and take things more seriously. Because now I understand why for the longest time I didn't take things very seriously, because I knew it really wasn't a big deal. Deep down in me, that part of you that knows that things aren't really a big deal, is because when you first come in as a kid, you're just pooping and peeing and eating and stuff without even trying. So survival isn't about working real hard just because you're older and bigger. You know what I mean? That makes sense to us because we're humans and you just can do more. But we turn it into you got to do it for money and you got to do it to survive. You got to do it to whatever. And it's hey, we could just work together to eat and have shelter and survive. But instead it's no, we got to have money involved so that this person's bigger than that and that person's bigger than that. And all those things were just to understand the concepts of all the different emotions. And if you come up with a new emotion, then great, come up with it in your mind. But I think just about every emotion and every word has been described in our plane. So we don't need to do any more of the backstabbing and the hurting and the aching and the whining and the contemplating and the all the stuff that we do, that we've done. We already know what it is now. So in order to figure it out, we had to do it. So I mean, if we could look for ways that we could be worse, but God doesn't want to see ways that we could be worse. He wants to see ways that we could be better. But he was doing trial and error basically to see how we could be better. And now collectively we could all think logically, if you want to say logically, because I don't even like that word, because logic isn't very good. But in a human sense, we say logically, we know what would be good and what would be bad. Don't hurt people, don't kill people, don't hurt people's feelings. I don't agree with the relationship, but if that's what you want, if you want to take the life role that seriously, then by all means do it. But you don't have to. There is no reason that you have to. The whole sanctity of marriage and all that stuff, it's just an idea. It's just you can hold on to that as much as you want to hold on to any idea. If you want to believe that you're, Luke Skywalker, and I know it sounds dumb. I want to believe that I'm God, and I do believe that I'm God. I believe that everybody is God. It's not a selfish thing. It's something that I want to share with the world so they can feel it too. It's not one of those things where I'm just a crazy guy who will say, I'm God, and you're not God. But then I honestly do believe and know, because I feel it, that I can channel the energy of the true source of life. How crazy is that? I know. But at the same time, when you start doing it, when the next person who follows what I'm saying starts doing it, and they're like, wow, I do feel a little different. And it's when you first start feeling that little bit different, you start realizing, wow, something is different about life than I thought. And just from that moment, you spark this little intrigue in yourself, that makes a lot of sense. And then all the things that I've said that I couldn't really put into perfect words, but I feel like I put them into pretty good words. But all those things I've said will make a lot more sense, and especially a lot more sense than any Bible you read. I'm serious. It's like translating someone else's translation. It's not even said straightforward. I mean, some parts are, because some parts are easily described. Anyway, I don't even know what I started to say that time. I just wanted to say the hardest part for me is just trying to act normal and take things seriously. I want to get to work at midnight. It's 1:05. I don't care. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm my own boss, but at the same time, I'm a little behind. I might get done a little later. But I believe in divine timing, and if I would have felt the need to get there on time, I guess I would have got there on time. And I just feel like everything I do, I'm doing in the manner that I'm supposed to. I believe in the divine timing thing. Everything happens for a reason. That's what true divine timing, I guess it does. But when people say everything happens for a reason, if they're not tuned in, they're just wasting their time. They're just wasting their energy. Maybe, I'm sure there's many times, maybe in a divine timing way, they're wasting their time and energy because they're playing the role that we need them to play at this moment. But when we all get together and figure it all out, we won't need to play roles anymore. We'll know who we are, and we'll just be pretending like the big act we're having, like the spirit in your body with whatever name it was called after it came out of the womb. You know, like, what about the spirit and the body? They're just named all those. That was just a spirit. That was the spirit of, Richard. Come on. I mean, it's only named Richard. It's not really Richard. It's just a form of God. Just like a tree isn't really a tree. It's just we called it. It's just another form of God. Everything that is in existence is whatever we called it. But it's just another form of God. Now, that should all make sense. But because of its simplicity, people are going to be like, oh, well, that's all fine and dandy, but what about? I'm like, you just have to believe. That's what everyone always has been saying since the beginning of time, no matter what religion, no matter whatever. Oh, you can either, well, actually, people have been saying that. You just need to believe, but then there's some people who just believe that there's nothing. How can anybody even think that's possible? If there's nothing, then you're nothing. And if we all came from nothing, I guess we are nothing. But we're all something too. So that's the paradox, okay? Something comes from nothing, nothing comes from something, because the something that came from nothing can make up the word nothing. Because we don't see it. Because that's the canvas that's waiting for us to write on it. It's like the blank slate. Like a piece of paper. Say the world started as a piece of paper and God started as a dot in the middle that was bright. It's like the world started on a big black piece of paper instead of white piece of paper. I don't know, but just trying to give you a comparison. I mean, try to use your heart and your mind and really think about that. We came from somewhere, and you think it's the Bible. Some people they think it's a sonic boom, the Big Bang Theory or something. Whatever you think it is, it's just whatever you've been told enough to believe. And I'm not trying to convince you and tell you enough to make you believe, but at the same time, I know it's the right thing. I know it's the right thing to do. There's something in my heart and soul that will not let me drop it. 8 days now, all I'm doing is talking about God, 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 because I feel it every moment of every second of everything. It's just God. It's awesome. But, man, see, I keep rambling. It's 1:10. All right, I'm going to go to work. Love ya.